Good evening, True Serve Nation. Good evening. Don't be alarmed. I was running late. I was getting busy. I was running late. I was going to try to multitask, but, you know, um, things happen. I don't want to be late. I don't want to be late. Welcome to True Serve Nation. Don't worry about nothing. Don't be alarmed. We're going to get this show started. Thank you for the new people that come in here. I'm going for the Charlton Heston look, maybe Moses. So we got Juju Yo in here. So I'm going for a different look tonight, okay? I'm going for a different look. All right, folks. I got a sponsor. Okay? I got my first sponsor, folks. I got a new sponsor. Ugh. Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of your old razor? Is it getting boring and lackluster? Well, tonight we'd like to introduce Mafia blades. Mafia blades cuts just like a gangster. And when you're done, look in the mirror. It's a shave that even Vinny the Chin would be proud of. Hey, I made all that up myself. I had lived that by myself. That's talent, folks. Hold on now. Let's see the finishing product. Let's see how this works out, Juju Yo. Let's see how this works out. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. Anybody? This channel is going higher and higher. Not if I can help it. This channel's getting tons of subscribers. Not if I keep this up. Let's get this damn camera. What the hell's going on here? Where's my producer? Where's my editor? Where's my writer? All right. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We're going to see how good this razor works. And good enough. Good enough. Mafia blades. It dices, it slices. It would make any serial killer proud. All right, folks? All right. Cut. Where's my editor? I told you I didn't want to do this. I told you. Yeah, the truth. You see when you spend too much time by yourself, folks? This is a public service announcement. Don't spend too much time alone. Oh, look at that. Look at that, folks. Yes, folks. Let's see the chin. Vinny the Chin Gigante would be proud, folks. Of course I'm a writer. I write all this bull crap. I don't even have a show for you tonight. I put Sammy the Bull Gravano in the title just so I can clickbait you guys. So you guys might as well go home already. All right? Fresh. All right, what do we got here? Thank you, folks, for coming on in. What's this? What's this here? You see what I do? You see, I've been barred on this channel. I've been censored. I've been blackballed. Just for you guys. The Rockford Files. Just for you guys. I do this for you guys. Thanks for joining, folks. You know, I'm really a serious cat. You know, a lot of times. Happy New Year. I want to talk about, well, this ain't going to be all about Sammy Numbnuts Gravano, but I wanted to state that Sammy the Bull Gravano was big into the trotters. There's thoroughbreds and there's trotters. The trotters are with the sulky, the wheels. So in case you've been under a rock your whole life, you know. So pardon me. He had a beautiful horse farm in New Jersey. And I imagine allegedly they were probably fixing races. You know what? I'm sick of mafia stories. I'm sick of these mob stories, man. Aren't they old? Yeah, he snuck up on him and then he hit him with an axe and then the other guy laughed and the blood was on the floor and they slept like a baby and they what is all that? We like dirty laundry. The horse racing. Let's see. You see how I got horses. Oh. This is a picture of a standard trotter way back when Kodak camera first came out. First sulky ever built. I got blueprints of the racetracks that were built. Like you guys care. Look at 1952. 1952. And this is I was 16 years old here. I was 16 years old. You see the handsome guy? Am I shaking? Am I shaking? You see the guy in the back, the tall guy in the back with the Donny Osmond haircut? That was the monkey, Sam Grzinski. And boy, they could get a horse home for you. They could get a horse home. I got other pictures. I love the horse races. And a lot of the wise guys love going to the racetrack and getting down and dirty. I'm not going to show you everything because I tried to make a joke out of it. You know why it wasn't funny? Because I didn't have my damn microphone. Geez, every time I try to do this, I forget my microphone. All right, folks. Did we cover everything? Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, for letting us have this day. And God, please give me the inspiration and the talent to have a good show. Amen. All right. And please, Father, have these people hit the like button. Please, God above. Thank you for the blessings. What's on your guys' minds here? I want to talk about bringing out the prize. Amen. Amen. Let's see. I was going to talk about let's just get right into this story because Mike Francis is played out. Sammy the Bull Gravano is played out. I'm never going to put his name in a... I'm on my way up. They're on their way out. So I watched the Sammy the Bull video yesterday. I was embarrassed for him. God forgive me. I was embarrassed for the poor guy. I'll never put him in a thumbnail again. Never. Okay. Let's get on with the show. Thank you. I got 6 people in here. Okay, you guys know I was running around making the deliveries and things got hectic. I broke the rules and a lot of stuff was happening at the club, Niagara Falls, New York, Brooklyn, and my cousin Victor, that was a high elevated, didn't have to report to a family. He didn't have a boss or a captain or underboss. He didn't answer to any of these bosses and all of that stuff, that junior league stuff. There's an element of organized crime, Italian Sicilians, that they associate with the mafia, the traditional families, but they don't answer to nobody. They don't answer to nobody. And my godfather Mickey, that was an enforcer. He did work for the families, mostly Colombo, though. He did work for the families, but he didn't answer to nobody. He didn't answer to nobody with the Cosa Nostra and you did this and you did that. They didn't answer. They didn't, there was a guy, well, my cousin Vic. These were high corporate guys. And I'll tell you something. They had political connections. So whatever that means, that just sounds good. They had political connections. Well, and so I got summoned because I was running those deliveries. Things were getting crazy. I broke the rules at the club because I didn't want to be a made guy and be a slave to a guy. Go hustle money and then hand your money up to the captain or the underboss like a slave. So I didn't want to be made. I robbed them. I robbed them, let alone me, And I wasn't a tough guy. I wasn't a tough guy. I'm not a badass. I'm not a badass at all. No, I'm not. I'm a thinker. Well, I that didn't work out too good sometimes either. So I made some mistakes, and the Niagara Falls crew was going to dismantle. How, I don't know, or whatever. I'm not privileged to that, but the writing was on the wall. That crew were like the bad news bears of the mob. They were the bad news bears. Dangerous and treacherous, but that was going to be dismantled, and they were going to send up some good-looking guys from New York to just take the gambling action, and that's it. You don't need a captain. You don't need a 5 to 7, 8 crew, and you don't need headaches from all these rats, and everybody's playing both sides of the fence. Everybody's playing both sides of the fence with all that loyalty and Cosa Nostra and all that. I'm saying there were traditional, loyal guys to the grave, loyal to the end. But at this point in time, the Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne, they come off the rails. So a lot was being dismantled, and they were going to restructure. So I was supposed to have made my last run. I told my cousin Victor, I told my godfather Mickey, and I said, yeah, that was it. But then I moonlit a couple times. I didn't want them to know, but it was all right, And so that's that. This faction is being dismantled, and I'm down there talking to my godfather and my godfather Mickey and my cousin Victor Montefusco. And they're just gonna brief me and ask me some questions and things like that. And a guy I never knew before, I never seen, just straight off the boat, Sicily, straight off the boat. We'll call him Mr. Colantonio. Mr. Colantonio. Say it. Can you say it along with me, folks? Mr. What a beautiful name. I'm Joe. Joe? Why can't I be Fabio or I don't know, Valentino? I'm Joe. Can't get a break. So Mr. Colantonio, he was what I called a political shadow man, operator, everything. $1,000 suits. I get summons, and we got to go to Freeport, Long Island. Beautiful estate. And I got a little caught off guard, and they're all wearing $1,000 suits. Yours truly, I'm wearing sneakers, jeans, and probably a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, So Snake Plissken. So I get up there, and I'm curious about what they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about the Falls crew. They're going to talk about the Falls crew. So I get up there, everything's nice, and I asked my godfather, Mickey, I says, well, what the hell's going on? What's going on? Well, we want to know everything about things that you saw crazy up at Sam's crew, things that I said, that's not my position. There was maybe 6, 7, 20% of them were proper, and the other ones were just all degenerate gamblers. There's just degenerate gamblers, and it wasn't a good organization. I have business degree, marketing degree. It's not an efficient corporation. It's not even organized crime. It's disorganized crime. And so and you tell us everything. So now there's a lot of new people here. I broke the rules a couple times where these guys were riding me up at the club. These guys were riding me, and then I spoke out of line, and you can't do that. I told the guy, F you, take your gun off, I'll fight you. Well, even if he took his gun off and fought me, he probably would have beat the crap out of me anyways. So I broke the rules, and oh geez, God forbid, I'm not a made man. Well, that was why I wasn't a made man, and you have to talk within their boundaries and all that stupid crap, kindergarten gangster crap. So of course I got in trouble, which can get you smashed out pretty bad or worse. So I did that. I made that mistake once. And then my godfather, who they all respected, Mickey C, who did work and they knew who he was. And, it's a small world. Little did they know that he was my godfather. But my godfathers, they knew after that. Then, he told them guys, take it easy on JoJo. He's just trying to do his job and all that. He's just trying to do his job. Take it easy on JoJo, So 2 weeks later, they're riding me again, talking smack. F you. I'll have an army from. This is what I said. I'll have an army come up here from Brooklyn and tear you all up. Well, I made the mistake again. What I could have had some between my cousin Victor and Mickey. They would have won that war. So I did it again. So I'm with this. I'm at this meeting and I'm explaining. That's what happened, Mr. Colantonio. That's what happened. These guys were talking smack, and I broke the rules once, and then Mickey straightened it out, right, Mickey? Yes, JoJo. Yes, Mr. Colantonio. Yeah, and then I did it again 2 weeks later. And then yes, Ricky. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, he had to straighten it out. So he goes, "Oh, that's all right. That's all right." So then he started. He had pictures. Mr. Colantonio had pictures. Now keep in mind that this Brooklyn, New York City, this meeting is in Freeport, Long Island, in a $1 million mansion. I don't even know whose it was. I didn't ask, but they had pictures. What am I on crack? They had pictures like this, right? Like just pictures. And Mr. Colantonio, I'm saying, is this some kind of trick, like to see if I have the DNA of a rat? And they're laughing. I go, I don't really know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. And they go, no, JoJo, it's all right. You're safe. Believe that my victim, so it was cool. I was in safe hands. So they're going, have you seen this guy? Let me see. No. Have you seen this guy? No. We've seen this guy. Oh yeah, I seen him at the racetrack. I seen this guy. Yeah, I seen him. I know that face. I seen him. Where'd you see him? So, and then they had a stack of pictures, and he melted in. He melted in the. Every 5 pictures, it was a picture of a guy in Sam's crew, Catman, Benny Blanco. Hey, everybody. Hey, I do what I got to do, a little tribute to Jimmy. So he showed me all these pictures, like the FBI, right? Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? Now I see that I know he knows. He must know who these guys are in the falls. And I say, yeah. He shows me the guy. I said, well, that's part of the crew. That's the guy that I got in trouble with. I told him to take his gun off and whatever. So Mr. Colantonio, that's who I broke the rules with, you know. And then I did it again twice. He said, that guy right there for sure. I said, of course, that's him. He's a no good, blah, 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 whatever, you know. And then shut up, Jojo, shut up. You know. So they're going, how long have you been seeing Mike Francis with the run, delivering the bread and milk? How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing that? What did he give you? What does it give you? I said, they're all chiselers. Snake Plissken, they wired you up like a Christmas tree. The snake is in the house. The snake is in the house. No, I seen Sammy at the racetrack. They were all in the horse. Sammy had a trotter farm. Sammy the Bull Gravano had they had a trotter farm. You know, horses like this. You know, Frank Picaro, Sammy was the real boss. I'd rather not even talk about Sammy. It ain't there. There's no value to it. There's no value. I mean, you know, whatever. People are going to agree. People are going to disagree. I'm telling another story right now. So welcome in here, folks. We got a real big show. You know me. I'm just a regular guy. I try to have fun, and I don't have editing. I don't have all that. I got my cigarettes and my coffee, and that's that. Thank you, Snake. They wired you up like a Christmas tree. The snake, the pirate. You ain't the snake, you're the pirate, bro. Thanks for coming in. That's my first super chat in 4 months. God bless you and your family. I'm the hardest working mofo in here. You see, I'm here to entertain. Folks, I'll continue with the story. Please forgive me for the breaks, for breaking, setting up breaks, because that's rude, because there are some people that might be paying attention to the story, but we got it all night. This ain't going to be a 5-hour marathon like I got coaxed into doing the other night. 5 hours. I'm the hardest worker out here, but one thing I do, I enjoy the people that come in here. It's the only company I got. I'm an old man. You know, I need socialization. I need socialization. So you can swear and cuss at me and everything else. It's still good. I don't mind. At least it's communication. I'm not. Thank you, Snake. Thank you. Irish Jamie. All right, Ireland. Get your whatever. Get it out. Yeah. I'm starting to learn more. Now I'm pretty good with marketing management and strategy and things like that. And I've done 600 videos. They censored me. They turned me off. Now I'm back on. So I'm trying to rise up again, you know. But I'm not going to start getting into the played out mob tube, rat tube. Who's a rat? This is a rat. People just want to hear good, interesting stories. Just interesting mafia from a guy that was in the middle of it, just in the middle of it. Mafia Graffiti, Frank Picaro. We got Mafia High, like Fast Times at Mafia High. Remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Spicoli? And then we got Mafia Graffiti. You can't miss. I thunked that stuff up, just like I thunked that little skit up at the start of this, you know? Buy your razor. It's a close call. And guess what? It's a shave that Vinny the Chin would be proud of. Vinny the Chin, a razor. You know. Forgive me, folks. Last time I remembered, I was telling a story. But I watched Sammy the Bull. A friend told me to watch Sammy the Bull. And he was going through the comments and all that. Poor Sammy's getting a little long in the tooth. Mike Francis, they ran out of stories. I heard that story he was telling. He told it 87 times in the last 4 months. But that's the hustle. I'm the fresh new face. I'm better than all of them guys put together because I'm real. I'm 100%. I'm real. Here's a wine from Mike Francis. It's got a nice bouquet of Sauvignon from the grapes of southern France. Get your credit cards out, you suckers. Get your credit cards out. I'm the poorest one on the whole damn. I'm the brokest guy on YouTube, and I don't even try to. I try to sell my book and things like that, but they're played out dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs, dinosaurs. You know, writer direct. Well, I'm a writer. Oh, Sammy has the big fuck. Oh yeah, yeah. They're talking about that. Mm-hmm. It's the same one he did 3 years ago, and it's the same one he did 4 years ago. It's the same one. It's the same one. Interest in entertainment. It's entertainment. Mm-hmm. Interest in entertainment. Yeah, that's interest in entertainment. I'm not bashing anybody anymore. I mind just a little, because I get a little. I'm a little bipolar and disassociative and dual complex personality, but I'll try to behave my best so I don't get barred off of here anymore. But we just like to have fun, all right. I'm sane. I'm completely sane, you know. So, but I'm not gonna uh, be the sheriff of Mike Francis. I'm not gonna do that. There's no value. Whoever he gets, he gets. He's retiring, He came out al dente. Oh, Sammy, you see, there's people that just watch entertainment. There, you got a diversification. You got a diverse population of viewers of MobTube. Now we've observed enough. We've observed enough that some people will like writer direct. Some people just want to hear the stories and personalities and things like that. Yes, people like whatever they like on the MobTube smorgasbord. But and I'm not the sheriff. I'm not the sheriff of any of that. But some people, there's another part of the population of viewers that want to hear they wouldn't entertain rats, but I'm not gonna go into the rat uh diatribe, and because all your YouTube heroes are rats. I mean, all your YouTuber gangsters failed the mafia. Okay. All your YouTube MobTube heroes, they failed the mob. They failed. If you took a test, you failed. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's life. It's a high pressure life, and that's what happens. And here a rat, there a rat, everywhere a rat, rat. Old MobTube had a rat. They're everywhere you go. So, and John Jr. I adapt the gangster stories for stage and sometimes for film. I also former gangsters are great for handling corporate security. They make great partners to protect you from industry monsters. Writer direct, what you're looking at is one of the best writers on planet Earth. There's, I shouldn't even tell you this. I shouldn't even tell you this. That last 5-hour marathon I did, there were 4 movies, 3 plays, and 2 screenplays in there. So go ahead. You can pick whatever you want. Pick whatever you want. And I'd be the bad. I could play. Never mind. Never mind. MobTube. MobTube. Well, here's some of my material right here. There are 2 movies in there. The link is in the description. If the link is in the description. Oh yeah, I mean, I like to have fun. Robert, Urich, Juju, I like to have fun. I like to interact. I like to interact. I don't have a budget, obviously, as you can see. I don't have technology. I don't have an introduction. You know, No, this is I've been doing this. They shut my channel down because I talk politics. So I'm gonna be a good boy and I'm not gonna talk politics where I'm gonna talk about stories, and that's what you want. I don't care about these mob tube rats, you know. I'm near Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, Buffalo. Yeah, I was around it. I was around it. Now you could either be a FBI agent or you could be now. I didn't do Tony Pizza. Tony Pizza was talking about me, little old me. I hope I hope he found me entertaining, or did he find me annoying? But I also at the end of my shows, we like to have a little fun, and then I try to give a little encouragement to the people. Uh, People might be going through struggles and different, trials and tribulations, and stay strong with your, your mental apparatus and your psychology, and hang in there. I was on life support for a year, fighting for my life, so I try to, tell everybody. Writer Direct says, mm, the only ones who didn't rat were Francesco Gambino, Cherry Hill, John Gotti, Angelo the Horn Prisco, and Sonny for Scenes. Otherwise, they all ratted. Well, I'm not. I don't have the whole schema of knowledge on that. But when the RICO Act came, when that RICO came, it changed everything. It just changed. It just changed everything, man. It doesn't justify ratting, but so many people were playing both sides of the fence. Bosses, underbosses, captains, crew members. That so many people were playing both sides of the fence. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to be a made guy. What? Be a made guy, and whatever you hustle, give it to them while you're looking over your shoulder getting ulcers. You know. So no, you know, I'm gonna write a book called Mafia Graffiti, and it's going to be all these little situations. It's going to be better than this. I did this too quick. I did this book too quick. It's got divine intervention in it. There's different things with uh, uh, divine intervention. There was different things, not just the mob, but different things that happened in my life where the angels came down and saved me. And so I wrote this book right here. But I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write Mafia Graffiti. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write Mafia Graffiti. So I'm just gonna pay attention to my stories, and whatever these dinosaur channels do, that's their business. I'm not gonna talk politics either because there's no value to it. See, when you talk politics, you're gonna disenfranchise either half the Republicans or half the Democrats. I need every viewer I can get. So, and plus, they don't like that. You know. uh, did you watch? Did you watch my other video, Writer Direct, when I said I got a master's degree in forensic psychology? Did you? Did you watch my other? Yeah, yeah, mm. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. hmm I got degrees, but it's neither here nor there. Where did it get me? I made a lot of bad mistakes. Dean's List 4.0 and all that. I was academically Mensa, but I made so many mistakes, just common sense mistakes, going down, gravitating toward stuff that there's no pension plan for that. There's no retirement plan running around all these crazies. There's no retirement plan for all that, That's all. It's crazy. It's gibberish to just But it's all God's work. It's all it's all in God's time, you know. Sometimes I caught the best breaks it was to be living. So whatever mistakes, that's all right. I'm glad I'm still alive, and I can rise up from here. That's all. That's all. Got to look forward, you know. If the frog keeps looking at the lily pad behind him, when he jumps to the other lily pad in front of him, he'll miss. He'll go in the swamp. He'll go in the freaking. So stay focused, stay ahead. We all make mistakes, and we could all achieve our dreams. That's all. We could all go forward. We can't cry over spilled milk. Oh, they stopped my channel. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, they turned my channel back on, and I'm gonna get it in while I can. I got good people hanging out with me, so they're talking about um I'm I'm in Freeport, Long Island, and we're in this estate, and I got my cousin Victor, I got Mickey, and I got this Mr. Colantonio. He's a shadow man, high up, mob political and all that. And they're asking me questions about the Falls gang, and they're giving me this interrogation about each one of these characters, and they're showing me a whole stack of pictures, and they knew the answers to a lot of who the guys were, and they were saying, what tell me everything you know about him. When you were riding him around at night, I was a driver. I would go up there and run errands, and then I would deliver the bread and milk to New York or central New York and things like that. And they were trying to gain all this information because the Falls faction was fizzling, and all they were going to do is grab a couple good looking, smart guys to take the gambling action. They don't need a boss or a captain, and they don't need five knuckleheads. They don't need that. All they need is a couple intelligent mathematicians to run the bookmaking organization. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Falls uh, um, being a part of traditional mob wherever in America, I believe it disintegrated. I believe it disintegrated. Now, I'm not the end all of knowledge. There could be other operations. I just wasn't privy to the. We don't. Uh, I don't know everything that moves on the ground, but in my belief, I would bet that that was the end of Rochester or the Falls. That was the end of it, and this was part of a huge gambling ring. Its tentacles stretched to Cleveland. From Cleveland, all points west, it stretched over the border to Toronto, and it stretched, of course, to New York City. And they were fixing sports games. They were doing good, you know. And I believe the Colombo family took in revenues. If you added the other four families up together, the revenues wouldn't have equaled what the Colombos did as far as taking the action on sports. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm, mm. What's that? Oh, that's cool. Half Sicilian, half Jewish. That's a dangerous person. Half Sicilian, half Jewish. Sounds like Paul Castellano. Just kidding. I like Larry Mazza. Giovanni. I like Larry Mazza. I like Larry Mazza. So they had their tentacles all over the place. And so I was delivering the freaking bread and milk, and I had a bullseye on my back. I asked the old man, I said, what happened to the guy before me? And he was like, well, don't worry about it, But my godfather and all them knew. And then after that, they were like, enough's enough. So when I was at this meeting in Freeport, Long Island, they were like, they're trying to gather enough for this information so they can make their next move. They wanted to hear it right out of the horse's mouth of, what do you know everything about this guy? When this happened, were you there? What about this or that? And so I was just trying to give them what they wanted. And, play along with it, because I had enough ulcers already. I lost weight. I broke the rules, and they're more or less, they're just trying to, they're information gathering. And so how to address this false faction, and whatever happens. I'm not privileged, whatever to, like that, because, there's just a lot of ratting. I would try to speak in code and things, and they would be like, oh, geez, there's JoJo. No, just pick up the phone and call the FBI and just let them know what you're doing. I mean, why don't you, try some preventive stuff? Anthony Muggs, how you doing? Is this show new? I've done 700 videos. I've been barred off of here twice. I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm not gonna talk politics. I'm not gonna swear. I'm gonna be a good boy, Anthony Muggs. I'm gonna follow the rules. I'm not gonna talk smack about Mike Francis. I'm not gonna be the sheriff on all of that. Whatever. Some people are still living. I mean, yeah. Who's Tony the Pizza? Who's Tony the Pizza? Okay, only because the guy Pizza talked about you. Was it bad? Everybody talks bad about me, but what are you gonna? I don't know. Because I wasn't a made man. I don't know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Talk smack about Mike Francis. Well, you know what, Anthony Muggs, what drew the line to me? Of course, I know about some of the fibbing he was doing, because he's got to realize that some people are still living, and some people aren't doing life in prison, and stuff like that. But I do like his political views. But when he did the Son of Sam interview, and he was trying to sell wine and books. Now, last time I heard, allegedly, he made $300 to $500 million in the gas tax scheme, allegedly. And next thing you know, he's in a fortress mansion out in California. Where's he end up? Doing an interview with the Son of Sam, who terrorized our neighborhoods and everything else. And he's selling wine and freaking books with the Son of Sam. Is that a gangster? Listen, folks. Listen. The Colombo family. There's the Colombo family, and there's their rackets and everything. There's their rackets. Mike Francis was a satellite. The Bull started out of Colombo. Sammy the Bull started out of Colombo, went to the Gambino, and he was tight with and he had connections with the Chin. Watch the start of this video. I started this video with shaving cream all over my face, and it was but that's what I think about Mike. He came on YouTube claiming to be former mob boss. Now, if you're a gangster, at least have a little scruples to just know that you weren't a former mob boss. You're lucky they called you a captain. They called him whatever they wanted to, because they were getting envelopes from that money. But go have your little gang. He had his own little security and his own little gang that wasn't recognized Ask if he had how many men in his crew were made men. Were made men. It's all gibberish, folks. It's all gibberish. It's all gibberish. Yeah, Sonny was. Sonny was. Yeah. He's talking about all that, you know. Then he was in the prison cell. The ceiling opened up. The rainbow came in, and he seen unicorns running through the sky. And he then all of a sudden, a Bible appeared. A Bible appeared in the cell. And then he looked the other way, and then he saw Jesus Christ, and he had this big epiphany, and he was in the hole and all this and that. And then he don't talk about charity. At least Joey Merlino, whether you love him or hate him, Joey does good works of faith, good works to the downtrodden, gives out turkeys and bikes and stuff like that. You know, as far as MobTube goes, Joey Merlino is the only guy I've seen any good. John A. Light's got good words, and so does Mikey Scars. You know, I'm not going to do that. I like Mikey, and I like John, because John was the first one to give me a shout out when I was barred and censored off of YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Mike. But I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to just tell my stories and see where it goes. But what a sellout. Buy a cruise for $10,000. The cruise to Cuba. What is it all take? Well, didn't he learn anything from the Bible that appeared in his prison cell? Didn't he learn anything, from that Bible that come up in his prison cell? Jeez. I used to talk to Angel Gotti a long time ago when she was with Cole and the Shades there, but I couldn't do it. They're too. They used to get too crazy. They all got too crazy on there. They're following people, taking pictures of people's license plates and all of that stuff. They're crazy. So, but these are the MobTube heroes. Yeah, Sammy the Bull was a gangster. Yeah, and then he's most of the most recognizable rats. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Where's my tech person? I didn't know I was going to go this long. Hold on. You know this is a grassroots show. There ain't no shame in my game. Let me plug this in before I get freaking blottoed out. This is about as grassroots as you can get. Let's see what we got. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry about that. I am not technical. If I had production and things like that, and it's tough. Anthony Muggs and Writer Direct and Ivan Lord. It's tough because I used to give rides to some of the wives to the prison, and the wives are thinking they should have read it, The wives are like, shouldn't it? It's tough, just any way around it, It's just tough. Tough situation. Well, it came down to you better rat because someone's gonna rat on you before you rat on them. I mean, it was, I hate to say it, but it was just paramount to you better give them something. You better give the government something because your name is coming up. Your name is coming up. So it's tough. People on MobTube, YouTube, soap opera, of course, are going to have different perceptions and opinions of that. And it's easy to be armchair quarterbacks. It's easy. And I don't approve at all of rats. I don't, but I can't be, I talk smack. I do talk smack because MobTube, YouTube has got the two biggest rats known to mankind. Yeah. And Jimmy Calandra, Cell Salvatore and Jimmy Calandra. Oh, wow. Mm. Well, some of them guys come in here, so I don't know. He might be watched, I don't know. But it's a tough proposition. Well, Mike Francis, he speed ratted on 25 people in 32 seconds. The good old Mafia tube hero in front of the Senate Congressional Committee on Organized Crime. He gave everybody up but the plumber. Then he says, "Oh, Norby Walters didn't go to, he died. Your intentions were to send him to prison. He happened to die. Well, he didn't go to prison over it." Now, is he a megalomaniac that just think that his intellect and thinking is far superior from normal viewers, that they can't decipher and deduce that your intentions were to send him to freaking prison? He passed away. And by the way, I showed the video of him ratting in front of the Senate, the committee on organized crime. I mean, come on. He's got the biggest YouTube channel, and he's got the biggest MobTube YouTube channel, and he's the furthest thing from a traditional New York gangster. He was a money man operator. He was like a Jewish accountant. That's all. He couldn't order a hit or anything like that. He had a satellite thing. He had a satellite operation, and he didn't make any decisions or moves between those bosses and captains and all of that. Then he comes out on YouTube, former mob boss, former captain, former this, former that. How about former rat? Former speed rat that ratted on 37 people in 19 seconds. Legend has it, he even gave up the janitor. All right, folks, let me stop. But that's the life. Let him do his thing and all that gibberish. I mean, don't claim rank jump. Now, if you were around the real hierarchy and stuff of the gangsters, all he did, he was running money and he was fixing games. That's what he loved. He loved to fix games. That's all. He wasn't too smart to know that he wasn't a boss. He's doing interviews and all. Yeah, there's a former mob boss of the Colombo family. Yeah, how you doing, man? Yeah. His sit downs were with journalists. The only sit downs he was doing was with journalists and newspapermen and media people. Those were his sit downs. Here's one for you. I watched one of his videos. He was selling wine. He was selling wine with Chaz Palminteri, right? And poor Chaz's face was falling off while they were standing on stage. And he said, "Yeah, Chaz. Now Chaz has no mob connections. If you're Italian, a cousin of a cousin of a cousin of a cousin's cousin might have an associate, so that qualifies Chaz to be gangster." And he's going, "Yeah, at the sit downs, Chaz, that when there were some life-threatening situations that had to be squashed, we used to drink wine at the sit downs to ease the psychopath's tension. Really? Really, Mike? You had a sit down and they're trying to get all this dangerous subject matter addressed, and you're pouring them all wine. You're pouring them all wine at the sit downs. Oh, okay, Mike. Yeah, okay. That sounds about right. Yeah. By the way, buy my wine, $75. It's from the grapes of the South vineyards of France. And yeah, by the way, this is the wine we used to drink at the sit downs. That guy's good. He's good. Step right up, try your luck, spend a buck, get in on the game, and have no shame. Step right up, spend a buck, try your luck, get in on the game, and have no shame. You know, like them charlatans used to come through town in the 1900s and the 1800s. And he's a charlatan. It got him 1 million subscribers. So, but he's an oxymoron. He's a contradiction. He's a contradiction. I come right out and say I was nobody. I ran around a lot of powerful people, but I didn't want to. I would just want to be a runaround guy. That's it. And when my godfather, who did work for the Colombos, highly respected, and when he said it's time to get off the train, Jojo, go back to frickin' Kansas and to be like Dorothy before you can't go home anymore. So, and that was it. And that was where I started at that when we were at that meeting, and they were interrogating me about all these characters and showing me all these pictures, and they wanted to gain some intelligence from what I saw with my eyes running all over the place, and whatever moves they were going to make, they thought maybe I can offer if somebody's still lurking around that they might be looking for, or things like that, tie up some knots and that, and then it's like, get going. My godfather couldn't protect me anymore, and that was it. Get out of Dodge, and I was none the happier for it. You know, the Lord had to come off the Christ twice to save me. So, but they should have called it disorganized crime. They should have called it disorganized crime, because so many people went down for ridiculous reasons. And I try to come up with some strategy and they're laughing at me. When we meet in person, we develop a coded easy language, bread and milk. We develop a coded language that a fourth grader could follow. And they don't understand. Well, I wasn't on the phone a lot, but when I came up with my code and I told them that's all I was saying, if they said anything else, I just hang up. Everything's bugged, everything's wired, there's surveillance on everybody, and they're telling everything over the phone, including how to bake a cake. Disorganized crime. That's all. Disorganized crime. Oh, JoJo's over there talking about the Jets tickets and the Bills tickets and talking about bringing the bread and milk. Well, what do you want me to come right out and tell the FBI what the hell is going on with you schmucks? I should have been the boss. I could have made captain. I could have made captain or underboss, but I wouldn't have probably lasted. I wouldn't have lasted because I was a little bipolar, they force you to be bipolar. They force you. They ride you. They see, when I first went up there, they want to check what your DNA is. They'll ride you. They'll talk smack. They'll see what you're made of. And then when I defend myself, I broke the rules of Omerta. Well, I'm damned if I do. I'm a punk. I'm a punk if I don't stick up for myself, and they're going to continue to do it. And then when I do it, it broke the rules of freaking the Omerta. So where do I go here? So I ran to my godfather, who will blow everybody up on planet Earth. And then he had to set things in order, and it's just like finally say, leave him alone. He's a good worker. Leave JoJo alone. They're disorganized crime. They went down like chumps. I'll say out of 10 guys, there's 30% that are thinkers, 30% that are intelligent IQ thinkers. That's it. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. There's regular civilians in the streets that are more gangster than them. I'm not talking about violence now. Violence, that's a different story. But thinking, but they got caught for their violence. They can't even come up with a perfect smash on somebody. They can't even come up with, I don't know. That's just my perception. I'm not trying to insult anything. I guess maybe I look like I was, but it's no good. It's no good. It's no good. I mean, there's a lot of smart people that could have been corporate chairman of the board and things like that. I went the wrong way. I was Dean's List on everything. I was on Dean's List, and I had quantum physics classes. I'm running around with knuckleheads. I made mistakes. But we still have a chance. We're all going to make mistakes. We still have a chance to rise up. That's the good thing about life. You got to look forward, folks. You got to look ahead. You got to look ahead. Don't get stuck in quicksand. The world is a vampire. It wants that blood. Smashing pumpkins. No, we gotta get our thinking together. We gotta put our spirits in line, and we gotta have a game plan. I just keep fighting. I've done 700 videos on here. I got knocked down twice. They shut me down twice, and I just kind of just keep going. I got a lot of good stories. We got some more Mafia Graffiti coming, and I was just trying to elaborate on the final ending times of when I was getting away from that crew and everything, and there was a lot of fun times. But me and my buddy, we were going over some old pictures, and he said, "Joe, man, you looked under stress." And going back in reflection, because I found a lot of old pictures, and I was like, "Yeah, well, it was very stressful. I'm not a tough guy. I ain't, all that." But Sammy the Bull Gravano was into the construction, all the construction and all of that, and with all the unions, and they had that West Side Highway project, and they had all that rebar. Now I got into the crew where I went to work was a steel brokerage. It was a steel brokerage, and I cut my teeth on the trying to sell steel at a steel brokerage, which was also a gambling ring. And that's when I started delivering the bread and milk all over the place. So that's the evolution of what happened. But like Sammy the Bull Gravano, he had all them unions, and he had it from the bidding. He had, if there was and then when you got politicians that are approving allocating money for municipal projects and things like that, he's already got the concrete union, the rebar union. So our office brokered some of that stuff, the steel and all that for those projects. And I know Sammy the Bull Gravano was part of all them unions and everything. He was really good at that stuff. Yeah, that was the gambling ring, as well as steel firm. And I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember. Uh, I think there was a Diarco or somebody involved. But off of some of these projects, they were making 10, 15, 20 million dollars. They had the contracts for the new rebar steel coming in, and then they had all the old salvageable stuff. So they grabbed money on government type contracts. They made the money going into it, they made the money in it, and they made the money coming out of it. How much? Where's all of his money? How much is he worth? Does he still got it? Did the government take all his money? Because if he never got busted, Sammy the Bull Gravano would have been worth $150 million if he never got busted. I think he was under a corporate name that might have been U.S. Steel and something logistics. Whatever, if he had to go by, he might not have been on the DBA, but it might have been something logistics. And I don't know if it was U.S. Steel or Allen Steel, but he had his hands in all of it. He had his hands in all of it. Boy, oh boy. But was he giving that money to the boss? He told, what did he say? He told John Gotti, no, we ain't giving him. How about we just smash him out and we'll just keep all this? Maybe John said, hey, you're stepping on too many people. You're stepping on too many people with all these union and contracts, and you're stepping on too many people's hustle. I don't know. I mean, you can only speculate. You can only speculate on that kind of stuff. But what else we got here tonight? What else we got? So yeah, the Falls was fizzling out. The Falls was fizzling out. They were just going to tie up the loose ends. And I don't know if people would believe it or not, but there was Sicilians, there were Italians that would run parallel with the traditional 5 mafia families. You got the traditional 5 mafia families, and then you got these hardcore Sicilians and Italians that would just run. They could run businesses and rackets and hustles. They could run them parallel with the mob rackets and things like that. They didn't